So I'm upgrading my gaming rig again, but there is unfortunately a bit of a caveat to this because the 5090 that I had in there for the last video had to go back. I know, sad times, but it was a loaner card for that specific video. Now I have got my old trusty 4070 Ti in there, which I think, to be honest with you, being white and matching the MSI Pano 100L case I have, does look absolutely phenomenal. But this is my gaming PC and I am biased as hell. So the upgrade we're doing in this video is due to a couple of comments that I received on some YouTube shorts recently about being bottlenecked by my CPU, which right now in this PC behind me is a 5800X. Granted, I did have the 5090 in there during those benchmarks, but it did make me look into upgrading and really future-proofing my system a little bit. So what I have got here now is a Ryzen 7 9700X alongside some pretty basic DDR5 RAM, 32GB 6400 MHz clocked. And yes, I know I should have gone for the 7800X 3D. I can see the comments coming in now. But unfortunately, budget was a major factor here, and I managed to pick up this 9700X for way under the £300 mark in the UK, and a 7800X 3D at the time of purchasing this CPU was way over £400. And luckily, because I'm going over to the AM5 chipset, MSI did very kindly send out one of their new B850 Tomahawk motherboards, the max Wi-Fi one, as part of the upgrade. So here is a quick fire rundown on the new motherboard, because there are more in-depth videos right here on YouTube, and this is more of a build video as opposed to a motherboard review. It's built for AM5, so Ryzen 7000 series chips and beyond, perfect for my Ryzen 7 9700X. You've got DDR5 support up to 7800 plus megahertz overclocked. It's got Wi-Fi 7 and a 5 gig LAN port for fast networking. For USB ports, you've got 3 USB-C 3.2 Gen 2s, 2 USB-A 3.2 Gen 2s, 1 USB-A 3.2 Gen 1s, and 4 USB-A 2.0s. 4 M2 slots all cooled underneath the shroud, and PCIe 5.0 for future GPUs. Now, of course, I've only got a 4070 Ti going in there at the moment, so there's no real need for PCIe 5.0, nor would I find much use for it for gaming. However, I have got the room to upgrade in the future. Productivity, though, maybe a bit of a bonus there. It has got a solid build, it's very clean, it has a black look with green accents, and for really a value proposition, it is a great entry into the AM5 architecture. So with that in mind, let's get building. So there we have it, the PC has been built and it is ready for benchmarking. But before that, let's talk about it, because there is one thing that I'm not really quite happy with. And yes, I know it's going to sound dumb, but it's the kind of thing that I think just brings a PC together. And that's the motherboard 8-pin cables. Now, I'm currently using the ones that came with my power supply, which is fine. But because my 24-pin motherboard connector and graphics card power cable are both black and white sleeved, I feel that the ones that are in there at the moment, for the 8 pins that are in there at the moment, just don't stand out as much. But saying that, overall, I think the PC does look bloody fantastic. And yes, maybe having a white motherboard would have suited the build overall, but I do like the black and white offset here with the custom sleeve cables and the white CPU cooler and the graphics card and all of that kind of thing. Now, I do miss the size of the 5090, I must admit, and that took up a decent chunk of space inside of this Pano 100L case, but the aesthetic, I think, of my Gigabyte Aurous 4070 Ti I do really like as well. So swings and roundabouts here, PC performance versus aesthetics, I suppose, but anyway, let's talk about benchmarks. Okay, so first up is some Apex Legends, and I'm not the best at this game, so I did play against a few bots, but as you can see, the frame rate was hovering around the 300 mark, dipping slightly down to the 260s, with an average FPS of 275 and a 1% low of 93. This is at 1440p. I did have to uncap the frame rate based on a launch option inside of Steam to get those numbers, but as you can see, it is performing very well, and it did play very smoothly as well. Now, why not play some Battlefront 2? The internet is going absolutely bonkers for this game right now, so I thought I'd include it in my roundup. In terms of frame rate, it was hovering around the 160s with an average of 162 FPS and a 1% low of 125. It was a massively playable experience, even though I am not the best at this game. It is a very busy map, Tatooine, and we were winning. So as you can see there with the blue captured zones, we were winning, but I probably didn't help too much. But it looked absolutely lovely playing at 1440p again with everything set to super high, and yeah, really nice experience with this one. Counter-Strike 2, being the all-time esports favourite, is up next with an average FPS of 186 and a 1% low of 86 as well. Again, everything's set to high at a 1440p resolution, and I was getting a really nice smooth frame rate for what I play. Now, in terms of esports, I do know that people like to drop this down to 1080p and play on super high refresh rate monitors. I haven't got one here at the moment, so I was playing at 1440p, but if you are a casual gamer like myself, this game will be absolutely fine to run on a setup like this one. Dune Awakening was a surprising one, with a frame rate coming in hovering around the 90s, although you can see an average of 103 FPS right there. It does increase if you do go into things like buildings and caves, but it also produced a 1% low of 47. Now, this game has got me hooked. Myself and my friends are playing through the story at the moment. I haven't been eaten by a sandworm yet, but they have come close, and I'm just enjoying the game overall. It's a nice, just fun, chilled game to play of an evening, and there's not really too much to think about. So a couple more games to go, God of War being one of them. Now, I'm getting so close to the end, I think, with this one. I'm actually really enjoying it now. I didn't quite like it at first, but it has definitely grown on me throughout my time playing it. But as you can see, a very smooth experience yet again, with an average frame rate of 173, with an FPS 1% low of 98. I am playing at 1440p with all of the quality settings turned up to the max, and this is the gameplay experience that I had playing God of War Ragnarok. And yeah, I'm going to be sad when this game comes to an end and I finish it, but we'll have to get a new single-player game in the rotation for more benchmarks in the future, won't we? And what would I do without my trusty go-to Overwatch? Now, I've sunk by this point hundreds of hours into this game, and it doesn't cease to get old. I absolutely love Overwatch, and it's so easy to run on whatever you throw at it. Bit of a spoiler on an upcoming video, but as you can see, the frame rate here is coming in at around 120, and it does dip into the 110s if there is a busy scene going on, or we're down to the 100s, into the 95 now, but the average is still sticking at around 112 with an FPS 1% low of 36. Now, I'm playing a healer in this game, not doing too bad a job playing TikTok Moira, but definitely not my strongest character. But we actually won this match, which was really good, and it was quite close actually towards the end, but yeah, not a bad experience with this game on my new gaming rig. And just to show off the temperatures achieved, we got a maximum of 82 degrees on the CPU, with it hovering around the 55-degree mark after a few hours of gaming. It was playing Dune Awakening, so take that as you will. With a minimum temperature of 50, this of course will drop if you've just turned on the machine, but yeah, these are the temperatures achieved here on the CPU and the MSI A13 cooler as well. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about the PC build and what the next step is for upgrades. Not that I think there's really any room for anything else except maybe a newer CPU, the 7800X3D or 9800X3D that are coming out now, and maybe the newer graphics card into the 50 series, but again, budget restrictions there versus performance. I can't see it making a huge amount of difference, maybe going up to a 5080, I don't know, I haven't looked enough into it. But then another thing as well, maybe I could put one of those little digital screens inside of the case up against the glass that read out things like PC temperature and fan curves and all of that kind of thing. So maybe there's room for something like that in this case. Now, more PC builds, I will say, are on the way on this channel, as I do have my old motherboard and 5800X that does need a new home. I've bought a few bits for it already. So new videos are on the way, so keep your eyes open for those and what we do with that. I've not really decided on a theme yet, so everything's up in the air. If you want to see anything in particular done on the channel in terms of PC builds, let us know in the comments as well. Anyway, thanks for watching.